Welcome back to the channel, guys. AC still not fixed in the shop. They can't get out here for another 2 days, so you're getting this live from my back porch. This is VIN 1425. This is a 2016 1J2, which is atomic silver with LA20 black interior. Popped up for sale here in the middle of June 2026 on Auto Trader in Atlanta, Georgia. 58,000 miles for $51,500. So at first sight, it sounds like it's a pretty good price. So we will jump into it and see more about it. Production statistics. 328 out of the 2,348 cars for the US 49 were atomic silver. Of those, 151 had LA20 black interior. 6.43% of all of the US 49 production was this color combo. So like a 5 or 6 out of 10, kind of middle of the road for how common it is. 2016, there were 199 out of the 1,418 cars were atomic silver, and of those, 91 had LA20 black interior. So this car is one of 91 at its rarest. As far as options go, this car has Mark Levinson, has orange calipers, and it has option Z2, which is a comfort and convenience package. It is a trunk mat, a cargo net, wheel locks, trunk applique, so a clear piece of film on the top of the back bumper, and key gloves. So pretty standard options that were configured for this car. Carfax, Epic VIN, and Auto Check. So my 2026 Carfax shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. My 2024 Carfax also shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. Epic VIN shows this as a 4-owner, no accident car, which I don't think is right. And Auto Check also shows this as a 2-owner, no accident car. So I think it is safe to assume this is a 2-owner, no accident, clean title, Southern driven Georgia car its entire life. Previous sales. So this car first went on sale in April of 2016 for $87,500 in Georgia, and it sold in October of 2016, so about 6 months for sale. Very common when these were new. They sat around because dealers didn't want to discount them. So then where this current owner acquired it was June of 2023, so exactly about 3 years ago, with around 35,000 miles, still in Georgia. And then here it is, June of 2026, $51,500 with 58,000 miles in Georgia. So now into the photos. There's quite a bit to unpack here, even though there's not a ton of photos that are provided. First and foremost, all of the wheels appear to have curb rash all around them. So not a big deal there. That's all fixable, but just something to point out and note. The driver's side of the front bumper, I do see a little bit of some chips and some damage, and the front vent right for the oil cooler is pushed in, and you have to remove the bumper to properly resecure that, but that's pretty common to see on these cars, generally on the passenger side, but they're just held in by little pressure tabs and they just come undone. So that is something of note there. Moving around the carbon fiber piece on the front, it looks like it may be damaged underneath, so that would be something to look at closer. Otherwise, that's a very expensive fix. And then, of course, the elephant in the room is on the driver's side. There is pretty significant damage to the driver's side front bumper. At a minimum, I would say the front bumper needs to be repainted, but it may need to be replaced if there's enough damage there. So something to look into. A note on atomic silver is it is a very difficult color to paint match. So if you are going to purchase this car and get the front bumper repainted or replaced, make sure you have a very experienced painter do this. Otherwise, it's going to be oh so obvious that this car has had paint work. It has a metallic flake in it, and it has to lay a certain way. Otherwise, your eye will hit it differently, and it'll look lighter or darker. And not only that, but as it slowly the color slowly fades over time compared to a factory color, and so you will see the difference. And it's just something of note with these color cars that you have to keep in mind, is that they're very difficult to paint match. The one photo provided that shows the tires, one of them has 2024 date codes. Looking at the Carfax, there looks like that there were at least 2 others that were placed in 2025 or 2026. So I would say this car in 2024, it had like 50,000 miles on it. So the tires probably don't need to be replaced on this car. It looks like all 4 brakes probably need to be replaced. I see lips on the rotors, and when we get into the service history, you'll see they have quite a few miles on them. So it's probably time for brakes. These cars almost always need brakes and tires. Probably doesn't need tires, but it definitely is going to need brakes. Moving on to the interior, I see the carbon fiber trim delaminating. Very common, and that can get expensive to replace, but something else of note, going to bring down the value a little bit because you're going to have to replace those if it's something that bothers you. Little nice attention to detail, the vacuum lines on the passenger side. You can see somebody has the Lexus logo in the vacuum lines. So there's a little template you can do and drag the vacuum over and it will create that. So that's kind of cool. There's no photos of the driver's side seat bolster. So that would be something you'd need to ask for more photos of, or look when you go look at this car in person. That's a pretty common area of significant wear. It's the driver's side seat bolster and the bottom part of the seat, the armrest, and the steering wheel. The steering wheel looks all right, armrest looks all right, but there's no photos of the bolster, so ask for more photos of that. So as far as the price goes, in this market here in the middle of June 2026, if this car needed nothing, which is not the case, if it needed nothing, this car would probably be a mid-50s car. And I would say as it sits, we'll get into the service history too, but as it sits, I would probably try to get this car in the upper 40s because you're going to have to put, $5,000+ into it. At a minimum, brakes and some of the maintenance, carbon fiber trim, maybe the valley plate, things like that. So at that point, where it's at right now, $51,500, it's not too far off. It's a pretty fair price. And I think in this market with the high demand for these cars, it'll probably still sell at this price and probably still sell pretty quick. If it were me, I would still try to get it a little bit cheaper. So now onto the service history. I wouldn't call this exclusively dealer service, but it's pretty well dealer serviced. And so the first entry of note is January of 2017. Notes that they ran over something and the left front tire was replaced. So something big enough, large enough that they ran over that did some damage like that. April of 2018, JLB recall was done. That's the high pressure fuel pumps. I would say like 95+% of these cars already have that done. August of 2019, 20,000 miles, front pads and rotors were replaced. That's the last time that the front pads and rotors are replaced. It has 58,000. So now it's got 38,000 on the pads and rotors up front, which explains why you see a pretty significant lip. March of 2022, 27,000 miles, rear pads and rotors. You usually get 30 to 40,000, maybe 50,000 out of the rears, depending on how it was driven. So that means that the rears have about 30,000 on them as well. So it's probably why it looks like it needs brakes and tires, or well, it needs brakes because it's definitely about time. And that service, they also did the brake fluid, typical around 30,000 miles. November of 2024, 47,000 miles, they replaced the battery. So the battery that's in it's about 1.5 years old. On Carfax, April of 2024, 42,000 miles, one tire at least, maybe 2 tires replaced. March of 2026 at 55,000 miles, it says tire or tires replaced. So I would assume that's probably 2 more tires. So I would say 2 of the tires are fairly recent, like have 3,000 miles on them, and 2 of them probably have about 8,000 miles. For the Michelins, Continentals, you get 20 to 30,000 miles of life out of them. So it's got a little bit to go for tires. So what's not done? The 60,000 mile service will be due in under 2,000 miles. That's spark plugs, in-depth inspection, look at belts, hoses, probably replace the dry belt, do the brake fluid again. 60,000 mile service can get kind of expensive. The valley plate, no evidence of the valley plate being done on this car. That can be $2,000 to $3,000. Get a pre-purchase inspection, make sure they put a scope down underneath the intake manifold and see if there is a leaking valley plate. Transmission service, don't see anything about that. TVD service, torque vectoring differential, I would do that as well. Coolant, just on age, but if you're gonna do the valley plate, the coolant will get done there anyway. The tires, as I said, are probably good. I don't see any evidence of the KLG being done. So that is the GPS location reporting incorrectly. There is a customer service program for that, even though it's not free anymore. There is a fix for it. The HVAC servo sweep, don't see anything on that. Some of these cars are affected, some aren't. I don't know the rhyme or reason, but this car's been in a warm climate most of its life. There is a fix, but make sure it's fully warmed up. Set one side to max hot, one side to max cold, cycle through everything, and flip sides and make sure everything responds. If it doesn't, there is a reprogramming fix for it, but if that still doesn't fix it, then some of the servos, you have to remove the dash in order to replace them if they are still malfunctioning. So that's something to keep in mind. Front lower control arm bushings, inner front tire wear. If you see anything on the insides of the front tires, then it probably needs front lower control arm bushings as well. But I would say like overall, it's pretty much just the usual stuff. It's gonna need the 60,000 mile service. It may or may not need the valley plate. It needs to be, transmission service, TVD service, coolant, kind of needs the usual things, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It just plan on spending some money on this car as soon as you buy it. for service. And then I guess finally, the low pressure fuel pump recall, which is active and open, but there is still no availability for parts yet. So you will get a new low pressure fuel pump once the parts are available, free of charge at the Lexus dealer. But I would recommend getting a pre-purchase inspection on this car at the very least. Spend a couple $100s at a Lexus dealer or a competent mechanic. Have them inspect the valley plate, make sure it's not leaking, inspect the brake pad life, inner tire wear, the usual things, and make sure that you don't see anything that would concern you or that would cost you a lot more money in the future. So that brings me to would I buy this car? I think it's priced fair for the market, but again, it needs a little bit of work. So slightly high for considering what it needs, but if it needed nothing, it's priced more than fair. So yeah, I think it's definitely one that would be on my radar, but just plan on spending some money when you buy it. Try to get it less, but I think there's plenty of demand where this car will sell pretty quick. So that's what I've got for you guys, VIN 1425. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you soon.